In this section, we'll show you how to install rough split shakes. The tools, materials, and equipment needed for the project are those reviewed in the early segments of this video. You'll also want to reference the instructions for installing substrates and providing adequate ventilation found under the heading Planning and Preparation. This is important. Rough split shakes must be installed over sheathing with nail holding strength, such as 7/16 inch plywood or OSB. Before installing the first course, we'll cover panel spacing. Rough split shakes expands and contracts like other plastic siding, so it's important that the panels be spaced according to the panel temperature at the time of installation. Otherwise, gaps will be too large or too small, creating the potential for dislocking side tabs or distorting or buckling the panel. Panels installed previously at different temperatures do not require adjustment. Each panel has a panel thermometer that displays the panel temperature and indicator lines that will guide proper installation. The thermometer is on the upper right-hand corner of the panel, and the indicator lines are on the upper left-hand corner. Panels must be spaced according to the panel temperature at the time of installation. Cells on the thermometer change color to indicate the temperature. If two cells show a change, use the brighter color as the temperature. If the panel temperature is 0, align the second panel to the 0 temperature indicator. If it's 30, set it to the 30 line, and so on. If it indicates a temperature of 160, butt the panels tight. Anytime the temperature cell is brighter between two temperatures, position the panel so it's between those two indicator lines. Now we're ready to install our first course. Begin by installing a starter strip within 1 inch of the corner. If you plan to use a mitered corner post, however, be sure the starter strip is installed to the edge of the corner. An alternative to using a starter strip is to use J-channel in place of the starter strip to receive the bottom edge of the panel. Cut 2 inches off the top course of the panel at indicator A, which is located above the nail slots. This will result in a straight edge on the right side of the panel. Starting on the right side of the wall, hook the bottom locking leg of the panel into the starter strip and slide the panel into the corner post or receiving channel. Leave a 1/4 of an inch space between the panel and the corner for expansion. If you're planning to install the mitered corner post, space the panel 3 inches away from the corner. Fasten the panel to the wall by nailing through the center hole of the nailing hem at the top of the panel. This will control the direction of expansion and contraction. Continue nailing the panel with 5 nails, 1 in the right end nail slot and 1 in each of the quick reference nail mark indicators. Drive nails straight, not angled, into solid wood or nailable substrate. Leave an 1/8 of an inch to a 1/16 of an inch between the nail heads and the panel to allow for freedom of movement during expansion and contraction of the panel. Install the next panel by positioning it below the starter strip and next to the first panel. Push in and up to lock the panel into the starter strip and the side tabs of the first panel. Space the second panel according to the panel temperature at the corresponding temperature indicator lines. Nail the panel into position, starting with the round center hole and then placing the next nail in the right end nail slot so the nail goes through both panels' nail slots simultaneously. Nail the rest of the panel through the centers of the remaining nail slots. Using the same methods of spacing and nailing, install the remaining panels of the first course. Because of Rough Split Shake's precision locking system, it's important that the first course be installed level and evenly. This will help ensure a consistent application up the wall. Now we'll install the second course of Rough Split Shakes. Cut 29 inches off the right side of the panel at indicator B, which is located above the nail slots, cutting straight through the panel. Drill a 3/16 inch hole through the center of the nail hem and nail the panel through this hole to control the direction of expansion and contraction. Now, nail through the centers of the remaining nail slots. Continue the second course as you did the first, aligning panels according to temperature, nailing through a center hole, then fastening in the center of the nail slots. Consistently allow 3 inches where the mitered corner post will be installed. To install rough split shakes under a window or other opening, install undersill trim. Cut the panel to fit under the opening. Drill a 3/16 inch hole in the center of the nail hem. Using a snap lock punch, raise tab faces on the outside of the panel a 1/4 inch from the trimmed edge, 6 inches apart. Lock the panel into the previous course and center nail the siding through the 3/16 inch hole drilled earlier. Cut the panel to fit over the window by measuring from the locking tab of the previous row to the bottom of the receiving pocket. Add 1/8 of an inch to this measurement. Turn the panel over and, using this measurement, measure from the bottom of the return leg. Cut the panel to this dimension. Install the cut panel by positioning the panel over the window and into the receiving pocket. Lock the cut panel into the previous course by pushing in and up. The cut edge should be a 1/4 of an inch below the top of the receiving pocket. Now we'll demonstrate installing the mitered corner post. Install the corners as you work up the wall. Lock the first corner over the siding, being sure it also locks into the starter strip. The top of the corner must be in line with the top of the panel. Nail the corner through the top 2 nail slots. The right side corner gap has cut marks at 1/8 inch increments to allow you to fit the corner to differing panel heights you may encounter as you finish a course. Trim the corner gap as needed to fit the panel. When only one wall can be installed at a time, it's critical that the starter strips be level. This will ensure a proper fit between the corner posts and the panels on the next wall side as the courses are installed up the wall. When you reach the top of the corner, cut a corner piece to length and face nail it with color-matched finish nails. To finish the entire top course, attach cornice receiver to the top of the wall under the eave or soffit. Trim the top panel to within a 1/4 of an inch of the cornice receiver. Use a nail slot punch to punch slots a 1/4 of an inch from the trimmed edge, 16 inches apart. Nail off the top course and snap cornice molding into the cornice receiver. The molding should finish a 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the topmost corner post piece. Finally, hook the top of the cornice cap over the end of the cornice molding from both walls and snap the bottom of the cornice cap in place. Alternately, you can slide the cornice cap over one of the cornice moldings until the second cornice molding can be inserted.